where we are going to be discussing the writings from Rutendo Paula Mugadza. She, or he, is it he?
It's a she.
It's a she, right. She has written Love, Life and Light. I mean, fantastic look. The cover's great. Yeah. Colorful. It's intriguing.
Colorful. Yes,
yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. Even the subheading, everything blossoms in the light, right?
Everything blossoms in the light. Looks fantastic. Audrey, good morning to you.
Good morning, Maurice. How are you today?
Very good, very good. Mother's Day just passed. Happy Mother's Day,
same
lady.
to you.
And happy Mother's Day to everybody else out there. I know the weekend was fantastic for me, so let's hope you had a great one too.
I had a great one.
Fantastic. Okay, Audrey, now we're discussing this book. Tell us about this book.
So this book, it was released in November 2024, and the synopsis reads, a poetry anthology that takes us on a journey of life, birth, to death.
All right.
So for me, I found this fascinating. Yes, we all like talking about the light, love, but then the death part, we don't want to talk.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah, but it's such a reality, you know, that's our only path for all of us.
Where we are all going. But it's important to, you know, kind of fill that gap from life and death. What is happening in between? And I know that Rutendo highlights some of these things because she talks about pain, love, marriage, singleness, I'm sure, you know, so there's all these poetry, but I see a lot of love, but it's okay. One of the poems, I love you, when the heart takes flight, wrapped in your love, thinking smiles when love found me. You know, it's like a progression of her understanding, I guess, of what love is, being in it, and, you know, all sorts. Tell us and walk us through some of these poems.
And also just to note, in her dedication, she dedicates this book to her son, Tandani. So I just found that very great. So I know love, when people talk about love, we always assume the romantic type of love. So it's there, but there's also the love of a mother to a son. There's also the love of God, because Rutendo is a Christian, the love of God to all of us, and how we also love God backwards.
Right.
So it's all love encompassed in this book. And you find, like you rightly said in the titles, there's a lot of poems with different titles. There's Lost Love, there's Love in You, Deadly Love. Now that's that's a deadly. That's a deadly. That's a fascinating one. And then My Child, and then Love Me Up. So I think there's also Loving Me Down. This is me thinking. So we find all these in the book.
So I'm like looking for the deadly love. I want to get into that one. Deadly love. What is this one saying? So it reads, you being the head does not make me the tail. I came out of your side and stand next to you. As a proud queen, I am for you my king, not from under your foot to be trampled upon, unequal to you like rubbish or dirt. Why then do you insist in making me less than? When I am the only one who completes you, I'm your God-ordained helpmeet. The Holy Spirit alone has such a lofty title. I can be your earthly comfort and joy if you would love me as you're supposed to do. Christ loved the church. He died for it. Do you love me?
You see now. So, I mean, this deadly love one, you know how the woman is supposed to be a rib, you know, out of the rib. But then I know that sometimes people don't see it that way. That's why we see a lot of GBV recorded. But then you're actually like hurting yourself. Because this person you're hurting
is a part of you.
100%.
Wow, if people actually knew that. You know, I guess that is all phased out by life happening.
Life's happening and all the challenges. And then also not having an outlet to let out all that pain, frustration, and anger that we see. So the one quote from a book says, we have been through so much together, you and I, ... So I think Rutendo is one of those deep people. From her bio, it reads that she's a writer she's written for TV, magazines, newspapers, and social media. This is her first book, but she's featured in a short story anthology. That's with season 3 with Sympathy. And her first writing project was a drama on ZTV called Three Strand Cord, which she also co-produced. Right. So she's also a producer of some kind. Yeah.
That is incredible. So you say she's got a child, she's married and stuff. Like, have you found out how she balances all of this and why this birthing of this book?
So this book, funny enough, it was birthed in COVID. You know how in COVID, a lot of us grappled with a lot of uncertainty. People were not used to being boxed up in the house. And then that's when she started scribbling on this book. And I like the way that it was now only released a couple of years later, like 4 years later. So I think it just shows us that we mustn't give up on our dreams. And then also she talks about how she's very passionate about, you know, her love for God. If you go through her social media platforms, she's all things writing and all things writing for Christ as well.
Yeah, because there's a lot of God-centered stories in here. And I see right now, I've just gone to the back of the book, she also has in Shona. She's also written some poems in Shona about Rulo. So that's like, you know, kind of, I mean, there's a few of them. But, you know, she writes about love, light, and life.
Yes, there's 3 Shona poems, but it has English subtitles. There's Mafungiro. I love that one because she's saying Mafungiro ako asu mafungiro, you know, in Shakatosiana. Like, I know how people always want us to think the same, but we're different.
Yeah.
And then she also says in that poem, though we could think along the same lines, but however, we're just different people. Then she talks about another poem called Nyarara, and then another poem called Shanda Piwa, which have English subtitles as well.
Wow, this is really good. And actually, it's actually deep. You know, I'm reading some of them like, oh, I love vernacular. I love our Shona language. It's fantastic, and it's really highlighting her mind in this. So where do we find this book?
Okay, so this book, she's on a social media platforms, all of them, Rutendo P. Mugaza. And then for hard copies, you can get them at Christian Crafts in Gweru, or on her number 0772 648-058, or her email is rutipkm@gmail.com. That's if you're out of Gweru. And then it's also available on most book selling sites, including Amazon, Book Thrift, and Overend. Yeah.
$12
Chete for you to. So this book, it's got, you know, when I look at it, you can't say it's for the lovers, so on. It's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
Because love, light, and light is for everyone.
Yeah, that is very true, and it's a good read. You know, I wanted to ask you a question about self-published. When somebody says my book is self-published, what does that mean?
So, you know, like back in the day, unfortunately, we don't have that anymore in Zim, but I see it abroad, whereby you write a book, you take it to the publishers. They actually pay you in advance for your work, yes. But then the rights are now owned by the publishing house. Yes. So it's your book, but then they only pay you royalties. So for some, it's once every quarter, for some, every year, that kind of thing. But now we've got this whole self-publishing route, which is easy. That's what people are doing, whereby you actually pay for everything. You know, you're paying for the editing, the typesetting, and all that, and the rights are yours.
Right.
Yes. So the book belongs to Marisa.
You.
Yes.
And everything comes to you.
Yes.
There's no more royalties.
Yes. You can sell it whichever platform you want. You can take it wherever you want. But when the publishers own that book, they'll only sell it to wherever they want. And if you now want to actually get copies of the book, you actually have to buy it.
You buy your book.
Yes, because it doesn't belong.
It doesn't belong to you anymore.
Yes.
Oh, I think it's a good thing to have your things belong to you. You know, which is something that, you know, not a lot of people are educated of. That's why I'd asked you, because, you know.
But then it also has its own disadvantages, because the self-publishing route, most people will publish a book and then just keep it because they don't know how to market it,
push it.
They don't know how to network the distribution and all that. Yes.
Right. Okay, but you can pay for distribution rights, can't you?
Yes.
Okay, even if it's mine, I can actually pay you, Audrey, to sell this for me.
Yes.
I think that's a better route, isn't it? It's a better deal.
Yes. So when are you releasing that book?
And we laugh.
Yes.
Please don't start with the book. I still have a few more songs to go.
All right. No, as long as you're on the path.
Yes, I'm on it.